Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to It's All Black and White TV. And yes,
Big up.
I am back. Been off for a week. As you know, last Sunday was the last show I did. I have had people message me, and thank you to people who have messaged me, by the way. Yes, I am fine. I've just not been well all week. I've got a bug. I think there's a lot of the stomach bugs going around at the moment, and I must have unfortunately picked it up somehow. Getting there now. So I mean, last week you probably saw the show, the pre-match show. I actually my stomach was in a lot of pain. I didn't even, to be honest with you, I watched the game and I wasn't as animated as I normally am during games and things like that. You know, I think I even fell asleep probably for 10, 15 minutes at one point. But look, I'm on the mend now, and that's the main thing. And I'm delighted I've got John on with me this afternoon for the transfer show. How are you, John?
Big up, Tony. Thanks so much for having us on, man. Big up in the chat as well. Hope you're having a fantastic weekend so far. Tony, it's good to see you back on the live, and I'm glad you're getting better, man. And it's good to see you.
Yeah, thanks, John. On the good old water there. So yeah, that's the only way that keeps you through, keeps you hydrated. Yeah, absolutely. Anyway, before we get into the show, if you do like what you see, please do smash that like, follow Sean the Sheep, and do smash the like. That'd be fantastic. Thank you very much. Also, if you are brand new to the channel, come and hit the subscribe. Come be part of this great community. Also, hit that bell notification for any future shows. And also, if you want to become a member, it's 99p. You can do that clicking the join button. And if you want to make a donation, you can do that in chat, clicking on the dollar sign, and all money reinvested back into the channel as well. Right. Before we get into before I nip into any comments, I just want to say, look, yesterday we were all shouting for Blue Moon to win yesterday. You know, we all hoped it was going to be a landslide victory for Manchester City yesterday. I think Man United fans possibly thought the worst as well. Look, it wasn't. It was far from it. Man City didn't turn up, in my opinion, for that final. They had a chance to make a history by becoming the first team to win the double twice, so double-double. They've obviously bottled that and knocked it back, handed it to their neighbours. Let's be honest, Man U had a game plan, and the game plan worked. I couldn't believe the amount of players for City who didn't turn up. Haaland, De Bruyne, Foden, Rodri, to name but a few. You know, the goalkeeper was poor. So at the end of the day, you know, you've got to say, you know, Man U were the better side. Even though City had 77% possession all game. You know, but possession doesn't win your football matches. Putting the ball in the back of the net does. So, you know, at the end of the day, it's their own downfall. Plus, it's our downfall because we should not be relying on another team to helping us out to get into Europe. We should have had Europe sewn up well and truly beforehand. Yes, we can look and see we had 3 games in that week where we should have got 9 points from them. And absolutely, we should have had 9 points. Brighton, we should have beaten them at home. We know they've beaten Villa the week before. But let's be honest, Villa's been a bit up and down this season. But yes, we should have beat Brighton. We certainly should have beat Man United at Old Trafford. I don't know why we did not start with Pope and Joe Linton, you know. And, you know, if we'd start with those two, one, we probably don't concede those 2 soft goals from Manu and from Højlund. Okay, Pope might not have gotten the other Diallo shot. But, you know, the first goal, that was preventable. Dubravka has been very poor. But it's not only down to those games that's cost us European football. It's the failure to beat Bournemouth at home, to beat Luton Town at home, who we concede 4 against. We didn't beat Everton at home. We were winning that game until Paul Dummett decided to become a wrestler and bring Ashley Young down to the ground. You know, these players should realise that VAR is an operation. As soon as that happens, it's going to be checked. You know, there's other games. Liverpool game at home in early season. 1-0 up against 10-man Liverpool. Again, we take our 2 best players off in Tonali and Gordon that day, much to the delight of Jurgen Klopp, who then throws Nunes on. And what does Nunes do? Scores 2 against us, you know. So, look, there is games where we should have won. games where we could have got maybe draws from and things like that. And at the end of the day, it's our own fault in that. Yes, put the injuries aside, Europe could have been ours well and truly beforehand. And then you look at cup competitions like the mistake from Trippier against Chelsea, things like that. Look, at the end of the day, it is what it is. We're not in Europe, so we just have to put up with it for next season and convince some players to stay. So I'm just going to dip into some comments. Mad Max says, great to have you back on, Tony. Hope you're well, mate. Yeah, getting there, mate. Getting there. It's awful. This, I wouldn't wish this on anybody, to be honest with you. Brian says, I'm starting to get really nervous now about what Eddie Howe is doing along with Andy Pandy in the transfer market. I get Torsten and Kelly, they're free, but DCL, Smith Rowe, I wish Steve Nixon would say no. Are we being linked with Smith Rowe again, are we? Brian says also it's getting ridiculous the amount of English players he wants as we are fighting for Europe next season and a trophy, or are we fighting a relegation battle? I've said it before, Eddie will be back soon. What's your thoughts on that, John?
Look, I'm editing, right? I mean, look, I want Ed to succeed at this football club. I always said that, yeah? You're your manager, right? And I know people on social media come out and say they want him sacked, but I want him to stay, yeah? They're going to give him another shot of it, but if he gets signings like DCL or players got injury records sort of thing, this is going to be on him. This is going to be all on him because at the end of the day, right? I mean, I think PIF will be looking this season. He needs a good start. He needs a really good start this season, yeah? Because no European football, he's got league games and cup games, right? And there's no excuses now. You've got to go out there, get us a trophy, right? And also get us top four. Now, I want Ed to succeed. If anyone wants to ask us, if you want to win a trophy, which manager do you want to win a trophy with? Eddie Howe, all day long, yeah? But the thing is, right, I said it before, he's got to be ruthless. He has got to get rid of the players, right, that deemed not good enough. And I'll get on people on social media saying, you're not going to get rid of all of the players, 8 to 10 players, because PSR, yeah? 5 was already gone, yeah? Then you got to ask them politely and say, look, we're not going to keep you, going to have to let you go, etc. Yeah. The trouble is, Tony, they're on stupid amount of wages. Yeah. Who's that down to? The previous owner. Yeah. Giving a long contracts. Yeah. And that is the problem. Yeah. Now, PIF has done a lot of things right. But at the same time, they got to Eddie. He's got to be ruthless. Yeah. And he's got to get it right. He needs to get it right. And I've seen people this morning, right, about Scott Carson saying that he's still getting a year-to-year contract at Man City. Now, there's a difference. They're in European football. We are not. And that's why Richie and Dobbins are going to have to be moved on to free up the wages. Yeah? Because we're on phase 3, whether it's no European football or not. Let's be real, right? Elite sports is all about winning trophies. Yeah? I say it again. Elite sports is all about winning trophies. Yeah. Tony,
yeah.
We haven't won a trophy for 55 years. Yeah. I've had someone told me yesterday, I'm not going to mention the name, saying that we as a fan base got to be patient. Tony, you got clubs like Leicester City's won a cup. Luton's won a cup before us. Yeah. And other clubs as well, lesser clubs, Oxford United has won a cup. Yeah. We haven't won now since 1969. We haven't won a domestic trophy since 655. We won the FA Cup, yeah? 69 long years, yeah? We haven't won. And when people listen to what I'm saying, they're going to be thinking, flipping heck. Well, no, why have we not won a trophy for a long time, Tony? Because I tell you what, right? Eddie will be the man to deliver it. I've got every faith in Eddie, but he has got to get the right players to come in. I don't know what you take on it. Do you think I'm right or wrong? Or am I speaking factuals again? Am I being too ambitious? Because I don't think I am. State
no,
facts.
Not at all. Not at all. I mean, look, at the end of the day, you know, the thing is, you're right, John. You know, we haven't We haven't won a trophy since, the first Cup 69 or a domestic trophy since 55, and it is long overdue, we were
69,
close
yeah,
to it in the
69, yeah. Let that sink
yeah.
in.
So we were close to it, under Keegan when we blew that 12-point lead. We had a couple of cup finals in the 90s, which we know, and then we had the cup final last year, which technically we should have beat that Man United side last season. Look, like you say, you look at Leicester City, they won the FA Cup back in 2021 season. They beat Chelsea, remember, at the final in Wembley.
Yeah.
They've won the Premier League as well, let's not forget. But the thing is, though, I want to see this club win a trophy. I wouldn't like to see anything more than the club winning a trophy. I don't want to sit there and think, oh, we're just going to sit there and, I don't want mediocrity. I want to see us competing, In the 90s, it was us and Man United at the top of the table competing, No, things have changed since then because you've got the FFP, PSR, whatever you want to call it, But in order to break this, we've got to start bringing more investment into the club as well. And I'm hoping that over these summer months, the owners will get more investment coming into the club, i.e. sponsorship. I want to see a training ground sponsorship. I want to see a training kit sponsorship. I want to see the pre-match warm-up kit sponsorship as well. If clubs like Luton Town can have separate sponsorships for like training kits and things like that, then why can't we? What's the difference?
Right.
So I want to see more investment coming in. Now, I look back and I think when we pulled those Sports Direct signs down, everybody's like, "Oh yeah, well hang on, it wasn't the cartel," because if you go back and look at it, the first club to actually whinge about it and make a statement that they wanted to vote on this was Leicester City. Leicester City's owner, Top, because that's what his nickname is, Top, because I can't pronounce his name, to be honest. But he turned around and he said, as soon as we took them signs down, he was the first one to shout his mouth off and say, whoa, hang on a minute, we need to have a vote here because they can't bring in, because they were worrying that we were going to bring in sponsorships worth 60, 70 million quid a year. And that's what they were worrying for. Now, maybe what we should have done was probably been a bit more cute. And what we could have done was maybe got these sponsorships before we took those signs down. So then by the time the signs came down, the sponsors were in place, ready to go up. And there's nothing you can do because there was no voting then at the time. But that's by the by. But I just want to see more money coming at the club. Get more of these £1 million sponsors in that you don't have to have going through the radar. That you can have under the radar and you can bring them in. You don't need Premier League approval for. Get some more of them in. Get another 30 or 40 of them in, So it can only help the FFP as well. But I want to see this club succeed. But the only way we'll succeed is by moving forward. The time for being sentimental is over now. We're 3 years into this ownership now. Eddie's been here 2.5 years. We know Eddie Howe's got a fascination with English players. We know that. But this is the time now for Eddie to start growing a pair as a manager. He keeps saying he's learned. I look at Eddie Howe and I think, what have you learned, Eddie? What have you actually learned? Because I don't see a lot of it. It's some of his substitutions have been baffling this season or last season, Things like reacting like when we go 1-0 down. Why are we reacting as a team when we go 1 down? Why can't we be like that from the start instead of waiting for a team to score for us to kick in the gear and say, oh, hang on a minute, now we need to go and get an equaliser and then go on and win the game. We shouldn't have to fall behind to do that. We should be doing that from the start, from the front. So, I want to see what Eddie can do over the summer. But there again, we do know if Southgate leaves England, as it's all being documented that he is going to do after the Euros, we know the FA are going to make Eddie Howe their number one target. You look at Man City, yes, they had a transition manager for a couple of years, then brought somebody else in. I'm not saying Eddie's a transition manager, but what I am saying is I want to see Eddie Howe be more ruthless next season. And he's got no excuse next season because we got no European football. So we've only got 3 competitions to play in next season: Premier League, FA Cup, Carabao Cup. Now, the Carabao Cups are now a grasp to win that next season. We don't know how Liverpool will do next season because they'll have no Jurgen Klopp. Yes, they've got Arne Slot, who I think is a fantastic manager, by the way. But this is the English Premier League. This is not the Eredivisie. So he's going to find it difficult, as Ten Hag's found it difficult. So Liverpool might be in a bit of transition when he comes in. Villa will fall by the wayside next season. And Simon Jordan reckons if Villa don't start well, Emery will be sacked. And that is what he said. He says Emery will be gone. And they've got to balance the Champions League and everything else. So you've got them. Then whether Man United are sticking with Ten Hag or getting a new man in, which is just like, basically, Jim Ratcliffe is just a richer mate, actually. That's exactly what he is. You know, instead of having Sports Direct plastered over the stadium, they're going to have Ineos around the stadium soon. You know, so Man U or another club, that's not going to be fighting for a title or whatever next season. So you've got that to contend with there. Then you look at Man City, they're going to be up the top end. Arsenal's going to be up there. Spurs, how are they going to do next season under Postecoglou, second season? Because if you look at Postecoglou, he's sort of been found out. And, you know, they sort of just got over the line for securing 5th place. So what I'm saying is, you know, there's hope for us next season to finish up in the top 6 of the Premier League, whether that's Champions League, Europa League, or even Conference League. Now, 7th would have got the Conference League this season, but you needed Liverpool to do the job on Man United. But Liverpool couldn't beat Man United in that cup in the FA Cup. If they'd beat Man United, then we would have been in the Conference League. That's the difference. But as I say, we need to focus on ourselves, get the job done, because I think if we get off to a really bad start, I think Eddie will be under massive pressure. That's the way I look at it. And you know, I want to see people overruling Eddie and saying, actually, Eddie, no, we don't want this player. I'd rather we went for this player. You know, and but we need to get a director of football in now. That's the thing. You know, we know Dougie Friedman signed a new contract at Crystal Palace, so he's staying at Crystal Palace. So now we need to get another director of football. Whoever that is, we don't know. Hopefully we'll find out very soon. You know, we need to get that sorted out before the transfer window opens. So, yeah, I'm going to just nip into some comments, John. Pablo says, first of all, Tony, welcome back. Hope you're all well. And sorry, this may upset people for me, but I think it's time how when he's not ruthless enough, how a people pleaser, and at all times when he played Dan Burn, and says, when we had Hall at left back, who's played well when he had his chance. I'm sorry if I offended the happy clappers, but this is my opinion on the matter.
Pablo,
you're allowed.
Pablo, you're allowed, mate. You're allowed. Ignore what the Twitter people say. You have an opinion, right? That is it. Yeah. I mean, I'm not asking you to be like Lee Gunnar, Jez, Matty Savaguna, you know, Northside. They speak the truth about their team. And I tell you what, they are relentless on it. You know what I mean? They're not negative. They think they're toxic, but they just want the best for their club. As simple as that. But at the end of the day, you're going to get people who's going to be for you, and you're going to get people who go against you. And you know what? I try to please people. That's my problem. Now, I'm doing it my way, whether they like it or not. Sorry, people. And if you flip and flop, they're not going to like you. If you tell the truth, they respect you.
Yeah, absolutely, John. I mean, look.
These are not Paul, by the way. I love
if this was... If you go back to the last season and the season before, if we flip those seasons around, if we'd finished 7th and then say 4th last season, yes, I can see everybody would saying Eddie Howe's a master stroke. Look what he's done for the club.
Yeah,
but a lot of people, yes, because we finished 4th and now we finished 7th and we haven't gone to European football, it's just one of those freak things that's happened. You know, I still think finishing 7th with all the injuries we've had, yes, there's games we should have won. I understand that. But looking at that, I think 7th's not bad, but we could have been better, if I'm honest. Maybe it was just Eddie Howe's team selections at times. He just didn't get things right. Daniela, welcome to you. How are you again? She's one of my regulars on here. She's a West Ham fan. And she says, Newcastle, Bowen is not leaving West Ham for you, so you can drop that one. I'll tell you what, Daniela, what a hell of a player he is. But we'll get on talking about him soon anyway. Jan says, afternoon all. Please bring in 2 strikers from anywhere but England, a young one and an older one. And Mamardashvili is a goalkeeper. Not bad a shout at all. Sorry I dropped out of Europe, says Daniela. But maybe both our teams can work together and smash to hold the scum 6 that have the league. By the way, Villa are not finishing the top 4 next season. Absolutely not. They're not finishing the top 4 next season, no.
Nah. No way.
I mean, look, the way they played against Olympiacos. Olympiacos took them apart, didn't they?
Yeah, go back to that comment, Tony, quickly. That comment, that last one there. Oh, no, not you two. Who said that?
Andrew.
Oh, man. You know what he's like? This guy, he keeps on saying about Man United in his heat all the time. I see that comment yesterday, by the way.
Oh, yeah, when he yeah.
But I'll tell you what, I do like Man U, though. Man U's going to be a worldie, that guy.
Yeah. Roger says, afternoon, Tony John. Good afternoon, Roger. Hope you're well.
Roger. Cooksy.
Jenk says, hello, lads. Hi to you, mate. Hope you're well.
Check for Turkey, Cyprus, or along those lines.
David says, two of my favourite Newcastle YouTubers. Hope you're okay, Tony, man. Yeah, I'm getting there. It's nice to be back on live. Not offend anyone, Tony knows I've been calling Eddie Howe out all season ever since the Forest game at home. Absolutely, Brian.
You did.
Absolutely. I mean, right. Let's have a look at our first. Let's have a look at the first player, and who I'm going to bring up on screen in one moment. And I get to his. There we go. And it is, of course, the one who's being most talked about at the moment, and that is Georgi Mamardashvili. So what do we know about him? Well, we know he's a 23-year-old Georgian international who will be playing in the Euros. So make sure you're sitting there watching all the Georgian games and getting your little notebooks out and taking notes of how well he plays. Because this guy is a very good keeper. He's left-footed as well, which is not normal for a goalkeeper. Normally, they're mostly right-footed. Strengths is his long shot, saving, consistency. He's got no weaknesses. He started all 36 for Valencia. By the way, Valencia's not in Europe next season. So us not being in Europe isn't going to harm if we get him in. I mean, he saved out 3 out of 5 penalties this season that he's faced. He makes 2.9 saves per game, which is 73%. His successful run-outs per game is 80%. So it shows you how good he is at coming out. Yes, he conceded 39 goals, 36 of them inside the box and 3 from outside the box. But again, the defence in front of him ain't that great for Valencia, let's be honest. He's made 106 saves all season. He's prevented 8.98 goals. 77 saves were from inside the box and 27 from outside the box. So we know his shot stopping's fantastic. Hasn't caught any saves and he's parried 29 of them as well. All season, he's kept 13 clean sheets, which is bang on. And ball recoveries per game, for a goalkeeper, 8.4 per game. So the ball recoveries is well high. He's had 2 errors that's led to a goal, and he's committed 1 penalty as well. But again, you tell me a goalkeeper that doesn't have an error that leads to a goal. And he's had 3 yellow cards, and he had 1 red card. I think that was recently against Barcelona when he was sent off. He cost you around about 35 million. I would say if there's a chance in getting him, I would have him at the drop of a hat. Fantastic goalkeeper. As I say, he'll be playing in the Euros for Georgia, so make sure you're watching that. John, give me your thoughts on Mamardashvili.
Yeah, he's 6'6", 6'7" as well, 20 years of age. And You're right. He's got a microphone, 35 million quid. And penalty saves as well, Tony. 60% of the penalty saves as well. He is an agile goalkeeper. He's quick and great shot stopper. And he's just good. He's destined for the very top, this guy. I mean, he saved Valencia many a time. And I think he'd be a fantastic asset for Newcastle United, give competition for Nick Pope as well. So he's got a contract expiring until 2027. So he's got a long contract. And I'd just say bring him in because I think he'd be a decent keeper. He's an international, of course, and I think it'd be really good for us. But if you're going to get this guy, it's best to get him before the Euros because his valuation is going to go up.
Yeah, absolutely. If we are out for him, I hope we do try and secure this or get an agreement with him.
And also, Tony, is like getting Atletico Madrid's after him as well because if Oblak moves on, then Atletico are very quick at getting the targets in, and he's been linked as well.
Yeah, do you think though, John? Do you think you'd go to Atletico Madrid, or do you think, do you know what, Premier League?
Well, you can't offer any European football. Atletico Madrid can. That's the thing, and then you play for a world-class manager as well, and Diego Simeone as well to take consider. So that one could go either way, but we'd be strongly into him. But unless Atletico Madrid came in for him to make sure we go in for him quickly, then we have to wait and see. But it could go either way. But I like the guy. I take him 110%. But Atletico Madrid, when they get their player, they don't stop. What should you say?
Yeah, I don't know who the guy is, but he said, go to Manchester United, throw away the names and worthless Sancho, Zabitzer, Di Maria, Casemiro, Veron, Ronaldo, Danash, Worth, ha. I mean, yeah, I see what you mean by that. I still think the way Ten Hag treated Jadon Sancho was an absolute disgrace. When somebody's got mental health issues, the way he treated him, banished him, told him to train with the kids, didn't want nothing to do with him. That's not how you support somebody with mental health. Let's be honest, mental health is a major thing. And it's something that you don't just play lightly with. Now, what if he'd done something serious to himself? How would Ten Hag feel then? And if Newcastle done that to any of our players that were suffering mental health, I would be absolutely disgusted now, our club doing that. You know, it doesn't matter what you're going through in life. You help people out. You get them the right help. You give them the support. He is a manager, Ten Hag. He should be giving them the support. Absolute disgrace of a manager. And, and people like that, you've got to put an arm around them and get to the bottom of what's going on. When he went to Borussia Dortmund on loan, he's played absolutely fantastic for them because he's at a club that know how to look after him. And unfortunately, Ten Hag did not look after him.
And that's sad. That is really sad, honestly.
It is sad, isn't it?
It is sad.
Shank says, Lloyd Kelly and Tosson are good transfers. Even Minty is back is fantastic. I'm looking forward to Mamardashvili will be perfect signing for the next 10 years. Do you know what, Shank? It would be. I mean, look, Mamardashvili would be a fantastic signing. I really rate this guy and I will be watching him closely in the Euros as well. Lloyd Kelly and Torson, yeah, good transfers. Yeah, Lloyd Kelly can be there as backup because I think that's what he will be. Minty, it depends how he does in pre-season. I hope in some ways we do keep him on rather than send him back out on loan. I think you could bring him on in the Premier League. Maybe not a starter every week, but somebody you can just bring on and help have an impact on the game. So, yeah, absolutely. Jan, thank you for your £5 donation, mate.
That's fun, Jan.
Thank you very much. Hopefully Leeds buy Longstaff if they get promoted. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, look, I've heard some people saying they want to keep Longstaff, but look, what you got to remember is sell Longstaff, we make 100% profit. And look at what that'll do for FFP. If Leeds come up today and they come in and say, right, we'll give you 20 million for Longstaff. You say, there you go, deal done. Snap the hands off. You know, I'll even come up myself and put him in the car and drive him there. You know, So, look, yeah, absolutely. I totally agree. And talking about that game this afternoon, the lineup of officials, I don't think they're going to be very happy about the officials they've got for this game at Wembley. You've got John Brooks, who's the referee. Obviously, they're all Premier League officials. Simon Bennett and Dan Robathan are the assistant referees. Fourth officials, Tony Harrington. The reserve assistant referees, Akil Housen. On VAR, they've got the best man on VAR, Jarrod Gillett. And the assistant VAR is Darren Kahn. So, yeah, they'll not be happy about having Gillett on VAR, will they?
Wow.
That man's a numpty.
Good luck to them, both sides today. Because you don't want to see this guy refereeing any game.
Yeah, absolutely. Brian says, someone in the comments said Eddie hasn't won a trophy. 100% agree. That's why I'm predicting that he will get sacked next season. PIF wants to see us in Europe consistently and winning trophies. Yeah, I agree, Brian. But, you know, it's this FFP. Them three letters keep cropping up. But what annoys me more, John, is, right, all these journalists out there, they keep saying, oh, well, Newcastle have only got X amount of money to spend. And I look at this and I think, right, hang on a minute. How do these journalists know if we've only got, say, £150 million to spend in a transfer window? How do they know? Do they actually look at our finances? Are they looking at our books to say, oh, look, that's how much we've got to spend? Because as far as I'm concerned, there's not one club in the land out of the 92 clubs in the Football League. You're telling me that any of those 92 football clubs would give away how much their transfer budget is? So how do these journalists know how much we've got to spend? I think they're just guessing.
Tony, you're just proper journalists, mate. Just proper journalists and collect the likes and the clicks and the attractions as well. I'm going to be real on that as well. I'll tell you that straight away, yeah? But nobody knows, Tony. Nobody knows how much we've got. Nobody knows how we're going to do our money. And nobody knows about our football club for journalists, yeah? This is why, all right, we don't say anything. We don't say out, yeah, when it comes to finance, yeah? Find out yourselves, yeah? We're not going to tell you. We're not going to tell our competitors how much we've got to spend. We don't do that, yeah? Other clubs do. I get that, but not for us. But I tell you what, these puppet journalists, right? They think they're clever. I mean, there's one of them, Football London, right? You know, they just guess at anything. They just want to be so-called journalists, yeah? Get the foot on the ladder, yeah? They will never become journalists because they're a bunch. They're just so shite, the lot of them, yeah? But Tony, you're right. Nobody knows, yeah? And this is another thing about transfers, yeah? People are just guessworking. Who we're going to buy, who we're going to get, right? You know, nobody knows. We just got to wait and see, man. Wait and see what happens. Who would have thought we got Isak? That came out of the blue. Bruno Guimarães, out of the blue, yeah? Harvey B, out of the blue. Anthony Gordon, out of the blue, yeah? Nobody knows. It just came out unexpectedly, yeah? Wait and see. That's why I'm trying not to get too involved in transfers this season, yeah? Do you know what I mean? Like transfer rumors and stuff. We talk about them, but we're not going to say on channel and say, we have signed this player. He is on the plane. He's having a medical. Well, we all know full well that hasn't even happened, yeah? But would it be nice to the club as well to come out and say, look, we're not after this player. It's all BS. There you go. Let us know.
Yeah, absolutely. Tony Salah says, great stuff, lads. Thank you very much. He says, Howe has too many favourites and the club is too clicky with Tyndall, Jones, Trippier, Longstaff, Richie, Dummett, Gillespie, etc. Need to stop. Yeah, I agree. I agree to a point on that. There does seem a lot of clicks in the club and totally agree. It needs to come to an end. That's for sure. Guys, don't forget, if you're enjoying this stream, please do hit the like. It does help this channel up the search. And also, if you're brand new to my channel, please do smash the like. Smash the subscribe as well. Thank you very much indeed. Because I'm only 33 away from 1,200 now. Mick says, big up Tony and John Sinclair. Cheers, Mick. Big up to you, mate.
Big up.
And he said, Tony Salah says, City did get rid of Hughes for Mancini. We need to do the same. What do you think of that, John?
I spoke to a Man City fan, right? I mean, at the Etihad, where we got beat off the cup against Man City, right? And I should have got an interview with this guy, on my vlog, to say that I'm asking, what do you think of Eddie Howe? And he said that, look, Eddie Howe's good, but he should give him another season. If he doesn't do it right, then you need to get Roberto Mancini at the football club. And he would do fantastic for Newcastle. Yeah, he said he won't be up there. He would be an elite. You've got the richest owners, but you need a world-class manager to come in, an elite manager to come in and make a difference. Man City did with Mancini, right? And look what they got him to, And for me, if Eddie does score, for me, I mean, like I said the other day, Diego Simeone would be my choice. Simone Inzaghi would be my choice, But for me, if Howe gets sacked, I want him to stay. But if he gets sacked, I've got Michel Sanchez from Girona. That guy is doing bits of that club for third in the La Liga, right? He's had a fantastic season, That guy is everyone's. His name's on everyone's lips, right? If they're looking for a replacement, Look at Bayern Munich, right? They had a shite season, a crap season, They got Vincent Kompany. They would have thought the league was upside down. You would have thought Bayern Munich was second bottom, to get Vincent Kompany, Not Bayern Munich second, top of the table, I tell you what, Bayern Munich getting Vincent Kompany, I've got to take this De Zerbi, to be honest with you, rather than Vincent Kompany. What do you think?
They must see something in Kompany that must make them think he can be a top manager, John. That's the thing, because, why else would they be taking him? So, maybe they've done a bit of due diligence. Maybe they've spoken to people from, his former club in Belgium where he was at, and, and maybe they've just looked, maybe they've been watching all the games that he's been at and just thinking, do you know what? He would be the perfect fit. Do you know what, John? It wouldn't surprise me. He goes there and wins a bloody title for them next season.
Or could it be they're copying Bayern Leverkusen, right? The way they did Alonso. Got a young manager coming in, like Alonso. They think, okay, cool. If Alonso can do it, we get a young manager in Kompany. But you know what? At the end of the day, we've got to wait and see. I mean, I wish Bayern well, right? Are they going to win it? I tell you what, they'll come damn close. If he plays if they get the defense right and win games, then I think they win the title. But I don't think Leverkusen will win it next season. Stuttgart, they had the season of their life, finishing second in the Bundesliga. Who would have thought that in the Bundesliga, right? I think though right of Dortmund, if Terzic stays there, I think Dortmund will win it next season.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm surprised he's not been snapped up as a manager somewhere else to go to a bigger club because Terzic, for what he's done.
He's a brilliant manager.
Pablo says, I mean, there's some good managers out there without a club. He says, big name like Xavi is a name that springs to mind. He will have the pull to bring big names into a club.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, the way Barca treated him, they treated him like crap. They really did. Honestly, man, let's be real. He said he's going to stay, right, till the end of the season, until next season. So he stay. What did they go and do? They kick him out. They totally sacked him. Threw him under the bus. Hansi Flick is going to take over that club by the looks of it. He was available, but he's gone to he will go to Barcelona. There are plenty of managers out there. Jose even. People say he's washed up. I think he's got one more big job left in him, Jose, and I think that club could be someone special. And I think he'll do something. But we got Eddie Howe. He's our manager. I'm going to back this guy. But like I said earlier, PIF. We'll be watching him like a hawk. And I'll tell you something else as well, if you go in the comments. The fixture list was going to come out on June 18th. And it's so important to see the first 4 or 5 games who we have got. That'll be telling.
Yeah, absolutely, John. That's that'll be the telling thing. But no doubt we'll find out in a few weeks' time, won't we? When the fixtures are released. I think it's the 18th of June. 4 days after the Euro starts. So, we'll find out. We'll find out on that one. Can't wait for the fixtures. They've already signed his replacement as Valencia, and he said it will be sorted before the Euros. This kid could be the next Buffon. He's be the first player I sign. I mean, look, I saw somebody put out there this morning saying Pope at 33 is too old. Now, hang on. 33 is not old for a keeper. Let's be honest. Now, the way I look at it is, if you look at Gianluigi Buffon, He retired last year at the age of 45. Peter Shilton, many years ago. Some people may think, who the hell's Peter Shilton? One of the greatest goalkeepers of all time for England as well. And Shilton retired at the age of 43. And he was still playing in the World Cup for England at the age of 40. So just because you're a keeper doesn't mean to say you have to retire early because you can have a long career. It's how you keep yourself in good shape. The only thing with Nick Pope is, he's now had 2 dislocated shoulders, and that's the concern you've got to be worried about. But we will be talking about him very soon. Right, we're going to get into the next player now. And this one came as a surprise. I mean, look, to be honest with you, I was very surprised when I saw this link come out because I just couldn't believe it. But the first thing that came to mind is, the price, especially with this FFP business as well.
I know
There
it's
he
coming.
is. It is Jarrod Bowen. When I saw that come up, I thought, yes, I like the sound of this. Now, look, we all know we were very close to signing Jarrod Bowen. He was at the services, I think, at Wetherby on his way up to Newcastle, when he got a phone call from Hull to say, don't bother going any further. They've pulled out. Mike actually doesn't want to pay the money now, and they've pulled out. And he went to West Ham. That's because the tight bastard that he actually was. Now then, we've seen how well he's played for West Ham. And look, this guy's been immense for West Ham. He really has been. Remember, he's got a contract for the next 6 years there. So his contract don't end until 2030, when he'll be 33 years of age. He's an England international as well now. So you've got to take that into consideration. Now, SofaScore are saying his valuation's about 49 million euros. I'm sorry, it's a lot more than that. You're looking at about 60, maybe 70 million for this guy. And remember, I don't think West Ham have to sell him either. He's high pressing as his strengths. Weakness, as I say, is ball control, but I think he's done better than that now. He played 34 matches last season, scored 16 goals and 6 assists as a right winger. I mean, look, he would be the ideal right winger in our team right now. He would be a massive, 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 massive upgrade on not just Almiron, but also Jacob Murphy. Now then, yes, I would love to have Jarrod Bowen at Newcastle United. Will it happen? Well, you can never say never. But the way I look at it is, I can't see it happening. But if it did happen, I would be absolutely over the moon with this signing because he is one hell of a player. John, give me your thoughts on Jarrod Bowen.
Oh, you covered it much there, mate. He's on a massive 6.5-year contract, man. I mean, 6 years left on his contract. And he is a fantastic player. What I love about Jarrod, he works hard, lovely left foot, scores, yeah? And they're normally on target as well. And he takes them on. That's what I love to see, taking them on, direct, having a go at people, yeah? But when it comes to the price, you talk about 100 mil. West Ham want 100 mil at least for this guy, yeah? I just can't see West Ham selling him. Do you know what I mean? He is their jewel on the crown, one of the jewels at the London Stadium, man. But I tell you what, I mean, I'd love to take him, no doubt about it, yeah? But I just can't see it happening. And I've got to go Danielle. I can't see it happening, man. Because Lee just said as well, he's a massive upgrade as well than Miggy and Jacob as well. 110%. I even take Chiesa as well. But let's be real. I mean, I think he'd be brilliant. He'd be a massive upgrade. I'd take him. But I don't think I'm going to pay 100 mil for this guy. Nah. Because FFP is killing us. I take Elise, though. 60 mil. But...
Well, rumours are, John, he wants to go to Man United.
He's a big United fan, isn't he? So if he goes there, cool. Really one place where I play for the football club.
Yep. And that's only on rumours, though, John. I mean, even Cenk says that. Looks like he's going to Man United or Chelsea. Pedro Neto to be expensive, but there is a guy, Ryan Cherky. This guy's got everything, but there is rumours he's attitude problems. Yeah, look, I like Ryan Cherky. I would take Ryan Cherky, but I've heard about his... But there again, you know, is it because he's not happy at Lyon? And that could be the thing. He could go to a different club and be totally different. And, you know, with the right manager and the right guidance, he'll turn out to be a cracking player. Pedro Neto, look, he's a good player. He's a very fast winger. The only issue I have with Pedro Neto was he breaks down too easily for injuries. And I know Lisi can be injury prone as well, but he's not as injury prone as Neto. Look at Neto when he played against us. I think it was the 2-2 draw down at Wolves last season. I think it was in about the 70th minute he pulled up with an injury. That's the sort of player you don't want in your team. You don't want a player that's going to do that and then pull up with an injury and be out for 7, 8, 9 weeks or whatever it was that he was out for. But Pedro Neto, I mean, yes, he's a good player, but would I want him at Newcastle? I'm not so sure. What about you, John?
I think it's his attitude as well, man. He's a good player for me, but for me, I'll probably swerve on that because I just think it's attitude as well. But I mean, I take Adeyemi instead, to be fair. And because on the left-hand side, but you also play on the right as well. And I'll tell you what, this guy's rapid. But for me, I'll probably have to swerve from this guy at the minute, like, because of his attitude. It's a shame, but you have to move on for that one.
Yeah. 12th man Toon says, I think we desperately need some new centre half. All ours are aging except Botman. We need a young right centre back and a centre half who's in their prime, 26, 28-year-old to challenge for a starter. I mean, look, Torsten's coming in, he's 26. But yeah, I agree. I mean, look, Cher's not getting any younger, although he looks better with age. Hopefully we'll see him play for Switzerland in the Euros, because I don't know why Switzerland don't play him, because, you know. But yeah, we definitely need to start bringing some younger centre-halves into the club. I totally agree. We've got Alex Murphy there as well, who I think's a great player, to be honest with you, and he's going to get better. You know, we go back to that game against Sheffield United. Look at that tackle he put in when the referee pointed for a penalty and then realised it wasn't a penalty after going to the monitor, you know. Because it was a superb tackle on Jayden Bogle. Even Bruno went over and gave him a high five because he couldn't believe the tackle he put in for a young man. And you normally associate a young player being rash and just going in on a tackle. He didn't. He timed that perfectly. And Alex Murphy has just signed a new long-term deal. So you can see the potential he's got in him. But I agree with that. We do need some younger centre-halves coming through, John.
100%. I mean, someone's going to come in and do the job as well. I mean, look, there's plenty out there. I'm not going to lie. But we need them. We definitely need them. Lascelles, I mean, listen, I wish he was speedy recovery, yeah. Much longer he's going to be at Newcastle for? And Fabian Schär, like you said there, he ain't getting any younger, but he gets better with age, by the way. I'm not going to lie neither. But we need to get a defender in the summer. We definitely need. If that means getting in Torsten, then cool. If that means getting Lloyd Kelly, cool. Yeah? Get either of them, it bolsters the squad. If you get both in, and that'd be fantastic. And we just concentrate on the right side mid and centre forward.
Yeah. Foxy High Mate, he says, as bad as it looked for Man United this season, the fact is 6 years without silverware for them before Eric Ten Hag arrived. He's got 2 trophies in 2 years. If a manager did that for us, he'd get a statue, lol. Yeah, I mean, look, I totally agree, Foxy. I mean, look, obviously there's something behind the scenes there that's not right. And to be honest with you, I don't care if they're in a shambles down there at Old Trafford. Let it continue as far as I'm concerned. I mean, look, I've had Macy on my channel before. I've had Reese on here, and they're great people. They're, you know, but there is a lot of their fan base which are absolutely awful people, and they really are. Some of their fan base is really awful. You only have to go back to that Carabao Cup final last year and the way they went on, you know. But look, if he does get the sack from there, well, we're not bothered about that. But at the end of the day, he'll get his money and he'll go off to another club, you know. But yeah, to get 2 trophies in 2 years is a good achievement, I suppose, for any manager. But yeah, if that's the way Man U want to be, then let them get on with it. Like Chelsea, you know, Pochettino guides them into 6th place, and he gets the sack. Craig says our transfer budget's 15 quid in a canny bag of Tudor.
Love it.
Mason says I want Leeds to win because Sunak is a Southampton fan. Yes, he is. He's probably there this afternoon as well. Although we're not in Europe, says Karen, next season gives us a chance to build a squad. Absolutely, Karen.
Big up
Totally
Karen.
agree with that.
Come on to Karen as well, by the way, if she's watching. Karen, well said what you said today. Thank you very much for backing us up. Thank you very much. Yeah, thank you. She knows what I'm talking about here.
Frank Brennan, hi mate. He says, another miserable trophyless season after many decades of the same, but not even European football next season for FC. I mean, I see what you mean, Frank. I mean, look, this season, normally seventh gets you in the Conference League, but this season's been a total freak. Who would have thought Man U would go and win the trophy against Man City? Everybody had Man City. I mean, look, if I looked at the bookies yesterday, I looked at Sky Bet. They had Man City nailed on favourites. They had Man United at 8-1. 8-1 Man United were at to win yesterday. So that shows you how much of an outsider Man United was yesterday. If I was Guardiola, I would not be happy because, look, a lot of people are saying Haaland looks like he's just a tapping merchant. De Bruyne just didn't look that great yesterday. I think De Bruyne was thinking about the Euros for Belgium.
He got hooked. He got hooked after that shot. Yeah, he got hooked early.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
He got taken off.
Taken off, rightly so. He was shocking. I mean, Erling Haaland, poor. Phil Foden, poor. Yeah? I mean, Kyle Walker tried for that shot, which a cracking save by Onana, by the way. I'm not going to lie. But Docker, their best player by a he tried to make things happen. Yeah? Docker. Yeah? He'll come good next season.
He will. Yeah, tell you what he reminds me of. He reminds me a lot of Alan St. Maximin. But he's a bit like Maxi in times where he has got that end product, but then sometimes he hasn't got that end product and he's a bit inconsistent. I'm not saying he's an Alan St. Maximin player. I'm just saying he's got similarities there. But I think if he works on his finishing more, I mean, the goal he scored yesterday, he should have scored it. The keeper should have saved that. That was poor from the goalkeeper in honour. But look, Doku, I like him. He's only young. He's got a lot to learn. And look, he's only going to get better. Craig says, if Howe is so bad, why is he on the Chelsea shortlist and that England want him to replace Southgate? I think the fact is, Craig, I just think I think it just goes down to the fact of, it's his team selections at times. The way he doesn't do substitutions quick enough, like the game we had earlier in the season where he brought on subs at half time and it worked. And it was that was one of the times I actually praised him quite well. I said, well done, because, if those subs hadn't came at a half time, we possibly lose that game. So, but I just thought when it come to the big game like Man United, we should have beat them.
Yeah, I agree.
And
just on that one,
Man United, we beat Man United, we'd be sitting in Europe. Well, we'd be in the Conference League next season, definitely.
Yeah, exactly. And just a message for England: if you want Eddie Howe, right, you're not having him. Otherwise, you, my friend, you're gonna get wooden spoon. Bosh, bosh. Get out of here, man. Wooden spoon.
Well, as I said on Pete's channel last night, John, if England come calling for Eddie Howe,
I think he's gone.
And they want him, I look at that and I think, can Eddie Howe really turn that down? Because not being funny, when you've got some great players coming through, the likes of Foden, you've got Jude Bellingham, who's probably the best player in the world at the moment. And if we don't get anywhere near that final for the Euros, I'll be disappointed. I expect us to get that final. That's what I want to see England get to. And I want to hopefully see us go on and win it. I hope we do win it, not just because the fact is, we've got, not for like the Southgate factor, but I just want us to go and win it because we've got a strong squad of good players there, the likes of Jude Bellingham, Phil Foden, Anthony Gordon. Anthony Gordon could turn out to be a star in them Euros.
He could,
best English left winger in the Premier League. The only thing I do criticise Southgate on his squad selection is the lack of left backs, because he's taken Luke Shaw, who is injured. Okay, it's fair enough if you think Luke Shaw's going to be fit by the time the knockout stages comes. Because we know, look, when Luke Shaw's fit, we know he is a quality left back. Let's be honest, he is. But I'm surprised Lewis Hall did not make that squad. Now, if Luke Shaw doesn't play, you know he's going to play Trippier at left back because he knows Trippier can do a job there. But the fact he's only taken literally one recognised left back, you know, I know Joe Gomez has played there, but I don't really want to see Joe Gomez play there. Are you surprised Lewis Hall's not in that England team?
Who's not in that squad? Say it again, Tom.
Lewis Hall.
I tell you what. For me, I didn't think he played enough games, to be honest with you. But going by form, the last few games, Tony, I think he's been fantastic. Not just playing left back, he can step into midfield. He can go on the left side, and he's got a shot on him as well. He's got a cracking goal yet again against United, Old Trafford in that defeat. And I tell you what, right? I mean, he's been one of our standout players. Eddie Howe, what I don't get, right? Why do you not use Lewis at left back before you play Dan Burn at left back? That's the problem. If Lewis Hall played his pop position, Dan Burn played centre back, yeah, we'd have been all right. But for me, in hindsight, I felt Eddie should have picked Lewis Hall a lot sooner because I rate that guy. That guy is a sick footballer, yeah, a baller, yeah. But see, you know, I just think you got to I think they got it right. Luke Shaw doesn't look match fit, but you got to pick players by form. This guy's been in form. Luke Shaw haven't. I'm going to reboot because I'm frozen. Let me reboot, man.
Frozen, John. Okay.
Let me reboot.
We'll just drop John out a minute while he gets himself sorted out and reboots. He's frozen at the moment. Yeah, look, Lewis Hall, I mean, he's, you know, this season he started 8 out of 18 games for us, scored 1 goal. But, you know, he's been okay. He's been fine. But there again, he could have been one of those who could have gone to the Euros and could have had a go playing. But again, it is what it is. And we just have to wait and see. He'll get his chance in due course. Peter McCardle says, do you think without Europe we'll have to change our transfer plans for the summer? As we're not in Europe, I don't think we necessarily have to change our plans because, look, when we were in a relegation zone, remember, we brought Trippier into the club. We brought Bruno into the club. Bruno took a risk coming to a club that was in the bottom 3 of the Premier League. So, you know, Isak came in when we weren't in Europe. So I don't think we have to change our plans. I just think we just have to make sure we sell the project to the players that come in. And that is the thing. That is the key thing. So, yeah, we'll just wait and see. But I wouldn't think we'd change too much. There we are. John's back. Frank says, how's last season coming up for sure? And so only a case of exactly when he gets the Spanish Archer. No chance we sign Bowen. He's got twins with Danny Dyer. He ain't leaving London, says Craig. Not at all. I see Everton are sniffing around Yankubo Minty. Well, they got no chance, sorry. Right, let's get on to to another player that we've been surprisingly linked with, and don't think it's the one that's got very popular opinions on this guy. You know, thinking there's better options out there. In my opinion, there's better options out there. There he is, Dominic Calvert-Lewin. Now, he's been linked with us. Out of contract next June. 27-year-old striker who's been with Everton since 2016 when they signed him from Sheffield United for 1.8 million. This season, he started 26 out of 32 games, scored 7 goals, and has 2 assists. Now, to me, Calvert-Lewin, not for me, I'm afraid. I mean, 7 goals in 32 games. That ain't great at all. That ain't great. That's not a great scoring record. There's better out there with better scoring records than that. Yes, he's English, we know, and yes, he has got an eye for goal when he scores, but he's not prolific enough. Why is he not in the England team? Because he's not prolific enough, and that's the reason why. If I mean, Dominic Calvert-Lewin, not really that great of a player, is he? To be fair,
I'll be honest with you as well. He should stick to fashion as well. Let's be real. He loves his fashion. He's a fashion icon as well. And, more than football, for me, I don't want this guy anywhere near my football club. Honestly, he's just not good enough. He doesn't score enough goals. Yeah. He's injury prone. And not just that, right? I mean, there's better out there. Go and give me Artem Dobic from Girona. Yeah. Go and get me him. Yeah. That guy, he is smashing up in the La Liga. Yeah. A lot of people don't know about this guy. Yeah. Go and get him. Or go and get me Ardus Milik for Juve as well. I mean, he's not going to be playing second fiddle to Vlahovic, yeah? But if Eddie gets this guy, right, especially if Eddie, it's going to be on him, yeah? It's going to be all on him, yeah? And I'll tell you what, then the pressure's going to be mounting. Everton won 50 mil for this guy, 50 mil. Now, would you seriously pay 50 million deep for this guy? Yeah, you've got an awful injury record. Yeah, we're going to get mugged off. Yeah, have you not learned about the previous owners? Yeah, about buying injured players. Yeah, and trying to get rid of them. Yeah, now we have to learn from this. I mean, someone in the chat said Gurisi from Stuttgart. Yeah, he'd be off to Dortmund, mate. Yeah, so at the end of the day, right, swerve away with this guy. Swerve away. I'm being real. I'm saying it how it is. Swerve away from this guy. I don't want him anywhere near my football club. Save your money and go out and get someone else. I'll take Boniface.
Right. If we look at Calvert-Lewin's scoring record since he's been at Everton, 214 appearances. So mark that down. 214 appearances.
Yeah.
And in them 214 appearances, 54 goals scored. That is a crap scoring record. That's more like a 1 in every 4 games. Is that really prolific? No.
Nah, nowhere near. Nowhere near. Not a chance. Not a chance. And I tell you what, I mean, look, there's better players out there with a better goal scoring record. Yeah. Simple as that. You definitely need a centre forward to look after Isak. Yeah. Callum Wilson, I mean, I'm afraid to say, I think he'd be on his way. Yeah. And that's all it is. Yeah. So Calvert-Lewin, not for me. Not for me.
Absolutely, John. I just think I think it would be a poor signing. And there's other strikers out there we can go for. Yes, I know they're saying Calvert-Lewin's probably available for about 25 million because he's coming at the final 12 months of his contract. But Jesus, if you're that desperate to get somebody like him, just keep him at Everton as far as I'm concerned. Right. One thing I want to talk about here is another player that we've been looking at. And it's been well documented, especially in the January window, that we were looking at this player because Steve Nixon's been there scouting him. And now, we do know that Bruno has this £100 million release clause that everybody keeps talking about. Now, Arsenal have already said they are not interested in him whatsoever. The only way Arsenal will be interested is if the price came down. Well, Arsenal, that ain't going to happen, so jog on. Now they're saying Man City have spoken to his representatives, according to Ben Jacobs. But that's as far as it's got. PSG are not looking at him now. They're looking at other targets. The only other club that I think could come in from could be Real Madrid, because Toni Kroos is retiring from football after the Euros, and Modric isn't getting any younger now. Look, I don't want Bruno to go. I want him to stay. But what you got to look at is football can be a very, very short career. And if Bruno thinks, yes, I love Newcastle, I know I'm well loved here and everything like that, but he may actually think as well, but I don't want to go out without winning any trophies and medals. So he might say, this might be my chance. For any player, it can be like they could go out onto a football field and have an injury that ends their career, and that's it. That career's gone. So if the worst come to the worst and Bruno did go, one, it would help our FFP massively. Yes, we'd be losing a hell of a player and a quality player in Bruno. But I'm just trying to be realistic here. I'm not trying to say to everybody I want rid of Bruno, because I certainly don't. I want to keep Bruno at the club. But we've got to look at the facts. The facts are, you've got to think of what's Bruno thinking. If we can persuade him and say, look, next season we'll be finishing in the European place, hopefully. Hopefully next season we can win an FA Cup or a Carabao Cup. Hopefully that may convince him, may think, okay, I'll stay. But remember, this release clause starts on the end of May, finishes at the end of June. After the end of June, Newcastle can name their own price for Bruno. So this is why I was getting there, is why I'm getting to the next player that's coming on the list now. But then again, this player can come in even if Bruno's still there, so it doesn't matter. Before I go to this player, John, your thoughts on Bruno? Can you see him still being here next season, or do you think the pull of Man City or Madrid would be too much?
Excuse me. I think he'll stay. I really do that. But Man City are circling around Bruno because they wanted Paquetá, didn't they? Now he's got charged for betting. Yeah, so they're not going to go near this guy. But they're probably going to circle around Bruno. And I don't think they're going to get him. I think Bruno will stay at Newcastle. I'm going to be positive here, yeah, and I hope I'm correct. But money talks at the end of the day, right? He's got 100 mil release clause. Everyone knows that. But the fact of the matter is, it's only until the end of June. I hope he stays. I want him to stay, right? If we do lose him, then we're going to have to get someone and a replacement for him very, very quickly. But if you are going to move on, if you're going to go on the phase 3 and go for top 4 next season and try to win a trophy, Bruno must stay. Because I tell you now, if he goes, and I know tonight's going to come in, that means I've got a funny feeling Longstaff's going to come in. Do you know what I mean? That is the problem. I think a month ago, people were saying that Tonali is going to be a replacement for Bruno. Well, Tonali and Bruno is 2 different type players. Tonali's a playmaker. Yeah, so is Bruno. I get that. But there's a lot of work to need to be sorted out, need to be fixed in this team. A lot of work if you are going to get top 4 and go for a trophy, yeah? But Bruno has to stay. I want him to stay. You want him to stay. The chat wants him to stay. We've got to do it. We've got to see what happens. But if Bruno moves on, we're going to have to move on. Simple as that. I'll be gutted. It'd be a kick in the teeth. But I can't see him leaving. Tony, I can't see him leaving.
No. I don't want him to go, John.
So, go on.
Yeah, I think if you look at the game against Brentford when he scored that goal, he showed you how much Newcastle United means to him. You can see how much it means to him.
He loves the club.
Yeah, he does. Absolutely.
He loves this guy, loves the football club. He gets it. He will not get the love and the care anywhere else, Tony. He will not. Yeah? Because we love this guy. Yeah? He loves us. He's just bought a house out in Dowers Hall. Yeah? Let's be honest. Big up Gary, by the way. Let's be honest, yeah? You're not going to fork out 4 mil to buy a house and then a couple months later you want to move on. You just don't do it. Yeah? That's why this guy is staying on. And I know people are worried about him leaving. Oh, he's going to go, he's on his way. If Martin's in the Chapman Kingdom way, right? I tell him now, I don't think he'd be going. Money talks, I get that. Money talks, yeah? But, Tony, One thing I will say, I'm going to blame is the Premier League for bringing this stupid PSR FFP coming out. I'll blame them for it because they don't want us spending. They do not want us competing and they do not want us spending. That's it.
Mm-hmm. Our former owner voted for it as well, John.
Who voted for it?
Our former owner.
Yeah. Crazy, isn't it? That's
Mr.
the
Sports
thing.
Direct.
Yes, he did. And that's why we're not going to compete. But one day, our time will come, Tony. If we win a trophy, they're going to have to respect us. As a football club, they're going to have to respect us. They're not in a minute. When we win trophies and that, they will respect us.
As Foxy says, if we are really talking about DCL and Milik, then just keep Wilson or tragic options.
Yeah, I'd take Milik over DCL all day long.
But is he not another injury prone? Is that what Fox
Well,
is
he
saying?
is. He does get a bit of injuries, yeah. But when he does play Milik, he does score goals, yeah.
But with Foxy being in the chat, I'm sure, John, there's some young strikers in Brazil or Argentina that we could get.
Yeah, thing is though, Tony, I don't watch the Brazilian league or the Argentine league. That's the thing. So it's a shame, but I need to study more on that as well. But I'm sure there are some good ones out there, like River Plate or Boca Juniors, Vélez Sarsfield or San Lorenzo, yeah, and teams like that, you know, and also as well, there's a few good teams out there.
Yeah, absolutely. So anyway, going on to this, Alan says we need to keep Bruno and Isak and Botman bringing new signs to upgrade the tune. Let's get rid of the deadwood. Absolutely, Alan. I totally agree, mate. Totally agree. But I'm going to go on to this next player. And this is one that we've been looking at. And actually quite like this guy. And I think he's very, very similar to Joe Linton. And so if you've got Joe Linton now injured, you've got the perfect replacement for Joe Linton. So here he is. And it's Ederson of Atalanta in Italy. I really like this lad. 24-year-old Brazilian, right-footed. Positions his strengths. He can play as a DM or a centre midfielder. He's got no outstanding weaknesses. He started 31 out of 35 games this season. Team of the week twice. He's got 6 goals from that midfield position and 1 assist. He scored 4 goals with his left foot and 2 with his head. And that's in Serie A, by the way, not all competitions. His accurate passing per game is 84%, 87% in his own half, 81% in the opposition half. His long balls are 55% accuracy, with his chip passes being 56%, and his crossing is 41% accurate as well, which is absolutely fantastic. Defending, he makes 1.1 interceptions per game, 2.3 tackles per game. Ball recoveries per game is massive, 5.1, which is absolutely fantastic. Shows you the level this lad's at. He's had 1 error that's led to a shot, but none that's led to a goal, and he hasn't given any penalties away either. 8 yellow cards all season, no reds, so quite a good disciplinarian. Atalanta signed him in July 2022 for 21 million euros from Salernitana, who got him from Corinthians for 6 million. Look, I think he's a decent player, and John, your thoughts on Ederson? Them stats say it all, how good he is.
Massive fan of this guy. Absolutely massive. People saying Coop Myers, right, when he plays at Atlanta. This guy holds things together. He just said it there. His passing ability, his tackles, his crossing, his coming through from late from midfield. The guy's got a lot. Why is he not in the Brazilian national team? I just do not know. I just don't get it at all. But this guy, 40 million quid, could rise up to 50 because obviously they won the Europa League. But is he going to leave Atalanta now in the Champions League? That's another thing. I just can't see it. I mean, I'd love him to come, but Champions League is the be-all and end-all. I don't think it'll come. I think he'll probably give it 1 more year at Atalanta. That's my guess. But the thing is, though, you look at the midfield, he's got a lot of midfielders stocked, well stocked, yeah? But that's coming out in a minute if we can. But Ederson, you just said it there, man. He's only 24 years of age, right? He's a young 25 in 2 months' time. Got a contract up until 2027. So he's got 3 years left on his contract. And he only cost 20 million quid from Salernitana. 20 million quid, this guy. I'm telling you, that's an absolute bargain, yeah? And I'll tell you one thing, right? What I like about him, he is a manager's dream. He can play defense mid, attacking mid, central mid. He can play anywhere. And I'll tell you what, his passing ability is fantastic. I love this guy. And if you do get him, if that means to replace Bruno, then you know what? For the first time, then I'll take it. But you know what? We need to get this guy if he's available. We should be all over this guy. But right, in European football, it's going to be very difficult, Tony. Very difficult.
Yeah, as I said before, John. Yes, I know we haven't got European football, but you got to remember, Bruno came to us when we were in the relegation zone. You know, that's so true. Just because we ain't got Europe, Isak came to us when we had no Europe. So just because we ain't got European football says we can't. Doesn't say we can't attract these better players. You know, so yes, it's just going to be hopefully just for one season. We don't have Europe. Jam says he is solid. Ederson, he is absolutely. Craig says we're stacked in midfield at the moment. Bruno, Tonali, Joe Linton, Willock, Longstaff, Anderson, Maley, Alfie Harrison pushing. We would have to sell first. Yeah, absolutely. Ronald says, who's linked us with Ederson? We were linked with him back in January. It was all over the place. Sky were reporting it and everything. So, yeah. Good afternoon to you, by the way. The glue in the middle, says Jam Stasher. Absolutely. He'd be a replacement for Longstaff as well.
Yeah, and I tell you what, he is levels above Sean. 36, sorry. Levels above 36. Levels, man.
Foxy says, Ederson price has gone up after the Atalanta winning the Europa League. One that we should have been taught the last transfer window. Absolutely agree with that, Foxy.
That's a fair point, Foxy. Foxy, you're absolutely right, mate. Absolutely right.
Do you think they'll do a swap deal, says Craig, for Longstaff, Willock?
Atalanta. Definitely not. Can't see it.
Right. Let's have a quick look at some potential outgoings here. We need to start getting rid of some deadwood, as we call them. Right. First up, WWE wrestler Paul Dummett. There he is. Look, if we got Europe, he may have had another chance of staying. I hope, and I really hope and pray, Eddie Howe says to him, thank you for your service, Paul. You've been a great servant at the club. We are not offering you a new contract. Go and find a new club. Thank you very much. Off you go. He's got to go, John, hasn't he, Dummett?
100%. And the tweets I'm getting, right, saying that Dummett and Richie are going to get new contracts if we get European football, which you haven't. Now we haven't got European football. What excuses have got now? Why are we keeping them? Get them off the wage bill, man. Just say thanks very much. Yeah. Go yourself a new club. Don't give them a one-year deal. Just sit on the bench. We don't want cheerleaders. We do not want cheerleaders at our football club. We want footballers, not cheerleaders. You want to be a cheerleader? Go in American football and do an American football, yeah? And just get the sort of thing. Or what I'll do, I'll get that. I'll just smack them. I just like that. You know what I mean? Get them out. Yeah. Get them gone. Get them gone. Because we need to get rid of the deadwood now. We need room. Bringing in new players, fresh blood in. Yeah. Like I said, I could have mentioned someone's name, right? Which I'm not going to, right? But she's a lass. That's what I'm saying. Saying that about Carlson. Saying that, they just how can you, a 39-year-old keeper just on a new contract? Why can you not do the same? There's a difference. They got European football. We haven't. We can get rid of them.
Yeah.
Simple. They got no excuses now, Tony, but he should take up a career as a WWE, bro. I'm telling you. But I wish him all the best, though.
Yeah, absolutely, John. Absolutely. Right. Okay. So next player to be leaving the club, hopefully. This guy. There we are. Matt Ritchie. Now, Matt Ritchie has been a great servant to this club. Let's be honest. You know, he came He turned West Ham down to come and sign for Rafa when we went down to the Championship. He's been a fantastic servant for the club. His contribution to the club has been great over the years. But unfortunately, age is catching up with him. We signed him back in 2016 from Bournemouth for 12 million. But he's now 34 years of age. I think he could do a job for a championship side. He's played 13 times this season for us, obviously scoring the 1 goal this season. And that was equaliser against his former club, Bournemouth. When we won nearly down and out at St James's Park. So, yeah, I mean, look, another one that has to go. Be realistic. We've got to start being ruthless now. If we want to move on and be this elite club, we've got to start shifting these players on. But as I say, Matt Ritchie has been a fantastic servant in this club. Yes, it's not his fault he's still there and playing. If you're getting off at a deal, you're not going to turn it down. But John, Matt Ritchie for you, I mean, look, thoughts on this guy?
Yeah, I've got to kind of agree with you, Tony. He's been a fantastic servant for the club. I take that. But he needs to be coaching elsewhere, to be fair. Do you know what I mean? I mean, he's been there since 2016, and I heard he could be a driver as well. He's taking his HGV. Yeah, but don't really say he's going to take a career there. But for me, I'd just say, look, Matt, you've been fantastic for us. We need to create space now. I think you need to be moved on. It's a new era. I think you need to go either to the championship or do a coaching somewhere. And I just wish him all the best. But I know people are saying that he needs to be on the coaching staff. We don't want a job for the boys. Do you know what I mean? He needs to be coaching elsewhere. Learn your craft, couple year, and then maybe come back.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely, John. Another player that needs to be moved on this summer is this man, Martin Dubravka, 35 years of age now. He'll be playing in the Euros for Slovakia. The last Euros played in, he got beaten 6 times by Spain. Look, this season he's been an absolute nightmare for him. Yes, he has pulled off some good saves for us, and he has had some games where he has done some great saves. I mean, look, he kept the score down against Liverpool. But it's not just that, John. It's his decision making in the box. He doesn't command his area as well enough. There's times I would like to have seen Karius give him a longer run, because I think Karius may have got better if he'd got a longer run. Yes, we know Karius let 4 in against Arsenal, but which weren't his fault. It was down to the defence as well. But if you look at that Arsenal game, Karius came out and made a run out and got the ball and kicked it into Rose Ed. Something you don't see Dubravka doing. The 2 goals he let in against Man United were shocking. Absolute shocking. Macy, who was a Man United fan, she told me last year, she says, I'm so glad you got Dubravka back. She says he's the worst keeper they ever had at Man United. And that's saying something, considering they've had some shit in goal over the years, like Taibo, the Italian keeper, and things like that. Jim Leighton. But look, I mean, Dubravka has to go, John, and get as much as we basically can from him. What do you think?
Well, he's got one year left on his contract as well, hasn't he? So, I think for me, I think he needs to be keep his football elsewhere for me. Maybe abroad, or maybe back at home. But the thing is, right, I mean, since he came back in the team, he's cost us games as well. Poor decisions as well. Poor goals, because it's down to him, right? But that one that slipped against Bournemouth when Solanke couldn't miss. But at the end of the day, right, I mean, he needs to be aware. I think he needs to be aware. Getting another keeper in, Mamardashvili, get him in with Pope. That's our 2 main keepers. Dubravka will not be a number 3. Get him gone. Just get him gone, man. Switch him all the best. When he first came, it was fantastic. But at the end of the day, right, he started to decline. I'm not going to lie. He started to decline with us, yeah? But I think he's done at Newcastle. He's done. He needs to be gone. There's a lot of work. Like I said, Tony, there's a lot of work to be done at our football club. A lot of work.
Thing is, John, we could have got rid of Dummett in January to Ipswich. They wanted to pay £500,000 for him.
I would have took it.
And Eddie Howe said no. We could have made money on him. I know it's not a lot, $500,000, but it just gets him off the wage bill and it gets some money in the club, doesn't it?
Exactly. And that wage could have gone towards Lewis Hall. But this is the thing, right? I mean, they don't want to leave the club because the club who wants him can't afford his wages. That is the thing. They want to match his wages or better it. That's what they want. But Paul Dummett could have gone to Ipswich, could have gotten promoted, right? Part of the promoted team. And he would get game time. But he'd probably be thinking, you know what? Leif Davis is at left back. I'm in that position. I ain't going to go. I'm not going to compete with this guy.
Yeah,
that's what it is.
Absolutely. Foxy says Dubravka, one of the best bargain signings over recent years. Time for him to move on, but appreciate the years and helping us remain a Premier League team. Yeah, I agree, Foxy. Look, when we first signed him, look, I remember this is funny, right? Because I was at Wembley in 2017, in September 2017, we played Slovakia in a qualifier for the World Cup. And England went 1-0 down. Dubravka was playing in goal that day for Slovakia. And he pulled off some great saves in that game. Because that was like I say, I was at Wembley, so I was at the game. And I was thinking to myself at the time, now, you know, this was at the time I was thinking to myself, he's not a bad goalkeeper. I wouldn't mind seeing him at Newcastle. But, you know, that's never going to happen. So, I didn't think any more of it, you know, because the amount of saves he pulled off in that game, he looked absolutely assured and everything. And obviously England went on and won that game eventually 2-1. And then the January, so you're talking, 4 months or whatever after that, what happens? Oh, we signed Dubravka. So I'm sort of thinking, hang on a minute, this is the guy that I said, oh, I'd love to see him at Newcastle, you know, at Wembley. And when he came in, I was well over the moon when we signed him, John, because I thought, what a keeper, you know. I thought he was a cracking keeper. And when he came in that debut against Man United, he single-handedly won us that game.
Yeah, 10 out of 10 performance of that guy. Do you know what I mean? I mean, the saves he made, right? I thought, where is this keeper from? Get this guy on a permanent deal, man, because he was only on loan. And he played the match of his life. And you would be thinking, yo, hang on a minute, who's this guy? How did Newcastle get this guy? Do you know what I mean? And
yeah,
he had the game of his life. And I'll tell you what, Tony, right? If he produces that form in last season, cool. Absolutely cool. And, oh, man, that was the best performance I've seen for a long time. You thought, you know what? We're going to forget about Shay Given. But then again, it's been proved wrong again that Shay Given's the best keeper we've ever had at the club, in my opinion. But he was outstanding that day, Tony. And bless him for that. But now, all good things has come to an end. Like Foxy said, he's been fantastic, but he needs to be moved on.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he's been here since 2018. Yes, he was signed under Rafa. He came in on a £2 million loan fee, and then we signed him for $4 million in the summer from Sparta Prague. But yeah, as I say, you know, I mean, look, when you go look at Dubravka's stats this season, the 23 games he played, he conceded 42 goals, 38 from inside the box, 4 from outside the box. And, you know, not really great in any errors. He had kept 4 clean sheets during that time as well. He had 1 error that led to a goal and he gave away 2 penalties. But yeah, I think now is the time for him to move on. And, you know, we say thank you very much for your service, but we need to move on to big and better things. Right, another one we saw that came out the other day. Now, we saw this come out. And it's this guy, Nick Pope. Now, apparently, Ipswich Town want to take Nick Pope back down there. Look, if Mamardashvili comes in, he's going to be number 1 in E. So, would you sell Nick Pope, John, to Ipswich Town? Would Nick Pope might want to go back there. I know his uncle quite well. But look, I look at this and think, if Ipswich offer the money, if say for instance they pay 10, 12 million quid, do we knock that back thinking, well, hang on, he's now had 2 dislocated shoulders? Do you think it's a risk to keep him on with him in case he gets another one? The next one could end his career. I mean, technically, I don't want Pope to go. I think we saw him last Sunday. It was like, wow, we've got Pope back. The save he made from Ivan Toney was fantastic. I didn't think he'd make the England squad because I thought it was maybe a bit too late for him. But look, in all honesty, I would rather we kept him. But again, it's all down to the club and what we do transfer-wise. John, your thoughts, Nick Pope?
For me, I still keep him. Yeah. And I've got a feeling, right, that when he gets match fit again, he's going to be our standing keeper again. But you need to have 2 quality keepers all the time in a team. But yeah, I've just got that knacking feeling. But if you do get Mamardashvili, I think the Georgian's going to be a number 1 keeper, and Nick would have to play number 2. But I'll get a lot of people saying, big up to Mary, by the way. And the thing is, right, but I don't think he's going to be happy playing as number 2. That is the thing. But we don't want people to start a football club, Tony. We do not. Yeah. But
no.
If Nick Paul's to move on for the sake of his England career, right, then I wish him all the best, man. I wish him all the best. Just say thanks for your 2-year service. But we must buy another keeper again. I do not want Mark Gillespie being a number 2. That is the thing. Yeah.
No.
Because at the end of the day, he'd be out of his depth in the Premier League, Gillespie. I'm not going to lie. He'd be out of his depth. Yeah, but he's a local lad. Shut up. Listen, he ain't good enough. He ain't good enough. Yeah, simple as that. But for me, I'd love to have Mamardashvili if he comes and Nick Pope as our 2 main keeper. But Nick will score. Cool. Wish him all the best. But go on.
Ian says he's also wanted by some very rich clubs as well. Mamardashvili says Ramsdale's probably more likely. I don't want Aaron Ramsdale.
I don't either. I'm not being funny, right? But for me, he don't want to come. He wants to stay at Arsenal. So cross it off the list as far as I know. But for me, I mean, I'll be happy with Mamardashvili.
Foxy says, pretty sure Man U paid $2.5 million for the Dubravka loan, so that's worked out well. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Foxy, it has done, hasn't it?
It has. It has. They made money out of them. So we mugged them off, didn't we? We mugged them off.
Yeah. Alan says, what do we think of this player? Takefusa Kubo.
Where's he from?
He plays for Real Sociedad. He's a right winger.
I'll be honest with you, I don't know a lot about this guy. I mean, I haven't watched this guy, so I can't really answer that question, but he might be good.
He's a 22-year-old Japanese international, John.
I'll be honest with you, I don't know a lot about him. I can't really answer that question. I had to think more.
His value is around 60 million quid.
60.
Yeah, he's a right winger, playmaking and high pressing are his strengths. He started 24 out of 30 games this season. He's been in Team of the Week 3 times. He's got 7 goals and 4 assists.
Then he must be good then. He must be good.
Yeah.
I'm going to keep an eye on that one then.
But a lot of money though.
60 mil. And then you've got FFP as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Right, and another player who, and this one's surprising, but he's surprisingly been linked with a move. Well, he's not surprisingly linked with a move away, but the club that's coming for him is surprising, and they're willing to pay £21 million for him as well. And Ipswich want Mickey Almiron. Look, Mickey's had his purple patch. He did well last season for us, but if you look at his goals before then and after then, it's like it's not really been that great. If Ipswich want him, if they offer 21 million, I think, yes, you snap their hands off and say, thank you very much. Off you go, Mickey. Get yourself down to Suffolk and go and join the Tractor Boys and help keep them in the Premier League. I think Mickey would do a good job for them. I really do. But is the Premier League really the sort of place that Miggy wants to play his football? Because I think he's more suited to Spanish or Portuguese football, if I'm honest, John. And I've said that for a long time. That was even before even Eddie Howe came to the club. What's your thoughts, Ipswich? The Tractor Boys wanting Miggy for 21 million.
They could have him. To be fair, look, at the end of the day, right? I mean, I think Miggy could be a star at Ipswich if he goes there instead. Do you know what I mean? But I love Miggy to bits. I love his smile, but I don't want to upset a lot of Newcastle fans. But I think he needs to be moved on. So if Ipswich do come in for him and they want him, and then they can have him, because we definitely need an upgrade on that side. Definitely the right side of mid. And hopefully that, get a better player, Tony. What's your take on it?
Yeah, I say sell Miggy. Well, it'll help our FFP. I think they normally times it by 4, don't the FFP, the value. So if he goes if you are basing it on that, so if you're selling Miggy for 21 million, times that by 4, there's 84 million. So yeah, it's all day. Foxy says Pope won't stay as backup. He may stay for the first 6 months, but he'll be forced to move out by January.
Yeah, that could be a possibility.
Yeah, absolutely. Ian says it's not one with Mamardashvili, as we are hearing bids of 30 million, but his release clause is 100 million. Something doesn't add up. Valencia, I think, are in financial trouble still, aren't they? So I think they're needing the money.
Yeah, I believe so, because it's well documented about that football club, Valencia. I mean, they're money troubles as well. They will sell if the money is right.
Yeah, Foxy says Kubo's brilliant. Will cost a fortune, has a long contract. Yeah, he does. His contract's till 2029.
Yeah, that does look good, doesn't it? So
you've got another 5 years there on top of his contract. So, yeah, I mean, he's been out on loan all over the place as well. So he's had a lot of loan deals as well. Obviously, started off at FC Tokyo, then went to Yokohama on loan. Then he went from Tokyo to Real Madrid for a free. Then he went on Mallorca on loan, then back to Madrid, out to Villarreal on loan, then back to Madrid, went out to Getafe on loan, then back to Madrid in 21, went back out to Mallorca on loan, then back to Madrid, and Real Sociedad signed him in 2022 for €6.5 million. There you go.
Wow, that's got to be the best signing then to get that. Wow, I think Real Madrid might want to buy him back.
Yeah, well, it's probably one of them. Madrid had too many players, so they probably just wanted to sell them on. And finally, we know this afternoon's game, which will be starting very soon, and we'll be wrapping up soon because people might want to get off to watch the playoff final, which hopefully will be one hell of a game. And we will find out if Leeds or Southampton will be in the Premier League next season. We all prefer Leeds to come up because the distance-wise for the fans. Also, for the fact is, if Leeds come up, they will hopefully come in and say, can we have Sean Longstaff? Yes, you can. There you go. Off you go, Sean. Thank you very much. Look, when he came in the team under Rafa, he looked great. They gave him a new deal then. Rafa broke because he was on loan at Blackpool, came back. And yes, he did well under Rafa. He lost 2 years of his football under Cabachid. Eddie Howe's got him back to where he was. But I know he's been injured this season, but I question why is he playing when he's injured as well. Yes, I know we've got a lack of midfielders. But for me, I think the fact is we need to cash in on him. He's only got 1 year left. And if we cash in on him, we get full profit for FFP as well. And the profit and sustainability rules. John, your thoughts Keep or sell. My thoughts is I would sell all day long.
Snap. Absolute snap. I mean, for me, I just don't think he's going to take us where we want to get to be. People say, yeah, it gives you work rate. People's going to say that he's a local lad, but work rate and being a local lad is not going to win me a trophy or a title or top anytime soon. He did get us top 4, get that, but winning trophies and titles and that, he'll not be there, Tony. But for me, he's coming on 27. He should be at his peak. Yeah. I mean, does he really offer you? What does he really offer you on the pitch? Yeah. I mean, sometimes like 10 is like playing with 10 men. Yeah, I know he scored 8 goals this season, yeah, but something's hand on the plate to him, yeah, tap in. But for me, if you want to get to where you want to be, he'd carry that guy. You got Lewis Miley coming through. He's going to be fantastic. Joe Willock, when he's fit, is going to come through, yeah. And tonight he's going to come back. Bosh, he'll be in the squad. Tonali, Joe, Bruno in the 3, yeah. Marley, Elliott, and Joe Willock, yeah. I tell you what, Alfie Harrison, I heard rave reviews about this guy. He's doing really well for the reserves, but Longstaff, it's bye-bye for him because he's had his time. He's been there for what, 2018, yeah? Under Rafa Benitez, 17, something like that. 7 years. I think he needs a fresh start for me. Let's be real. Because I tell you now, if I was Eddie Howe, then you've got to pick your 3 best midfielders. For me, I don't think he's good enough. I'm not going to lie. I'm saying that how it is. I know he's going to upset the Newcastle fans. I'm sorry, but the truth's got to come out. He's got to go. Get him gone.
Yeah. Foxy says Miggy needs a club that will play him in his natural position. A good Copa America show with Paraguay will bring interest from overseas. I agree, Foxy.
I agree, Foxy.
So I don't think we do play him in his natural position. I like him on the left, but we don't see him on there often enough. Jan says we got our own Kubo and his name is Minty, trust me. Yeah. There's a star player I was looking at last night, had a ridiculously low release fee. Damn, I can't remember who it is now, but yeah, I was busy playing poker, says Jam Stasher.
I'll give it a name.
Says, Nico Williams. Nico Williams.
Yeah, Nico Williams.
Sell Miggy back to Atlanta, says Bucko. Jody Tune for Life, how mate, hope you well. He says Fraser starts to Southampton. If they go up, a better chance of selling him. Yeah, absolutely, Jody. That's the thing. Southampton have already said they want to buy Fraser. Look, if you go on form, I know form books should be thrown out the window when it's a playoff final. It's a one-off. But if you go on form, Southampton's done a double over Leeds this season. But, you know, it's a one-off game. Anything can happen. It can go to extra time, go to penalties like it did last year. So, yeah, it's going to be a cracking final. I mean, look, we would like to have seen both teams come up. But unfortunately, both can't come up. But, yeah. But there again, it doesn't mean to say, even if Leeds don't come up, that nobody else comes in for Longstaff, you know. So, again, we'll see what happens. But, yeah, good shout there. I mean, look, who do you want to come up, John? Leeds or Southampton?
For me, I mean, go through history, I have to go with Leeds. Geographical terms, Southampton, because it's not far from where I live. But if it's Leeds, then I think Daniel Farke's done a wonderful job there at the football club in a minute in his first season. So I think it'll be Leeds. But Southampton's beaten twice by the way.
Yeah, absolutely, John. Nico for 15 million or Bowen for 100 million. How ridiculous is that? Absolutely ridiculous, isn't it? You know,
exactly. That's why you got to go abroad, mate. You got to go abroad for bargains. No, they got some cracking players over there. What you're doing, you're just paying a premium for English players. That's all you're doing.
Yeah, absolutely. Jody Toonvalley says Southampton have beaten Leeds twice this season. Yeah, absolutely. Foxy says Rowley has disappeared since the player from the Belgian league turned into be a bargain of the Premier League. Daniel Munoz for Palace, 8 million. Hey, do you know what it is, Foxy? I totally agree. I mean, look, every time I've mentioned, oh, look, there's players there, you know, from Belgium that we could sign. And what's he said? No, we don't want to sign any players on the Belgian league. It's not that great of a league. But Belgian, hey, what a league! We sign they've signed Munoz, who I think's been a cracking player for them. Verbruggen's not had a bad season. I know he's a Dutch keeper, but he come from the Belgian league. Verbruggen's been all right for Brighton. So look, yeah, absolutely. David says Eddie only seems to want English players. Yeah, I know. I don't understand the fascination over that. I mean, I think he's trying to be the safe option where at least if we've got English players, with the English players, it's like, what is it? It's because I got the Premier League experience. But sometimes you got to break the mold and go abroad. Pablo says Leeds to smash Southampton. Let's see them Saints fans tears flow. Ian says, Karen, we don't need to sell anyone. We just need to get rid of the deadwood that are nowhere near the first team. There are other options before Sean. Yeah, absolutely. Right, guys. Well, that's been a cracking show. Been on for an hour and 3/4. And people, like I say, will probably want to get off to watch the football and get ourselves comfy for the afternoon. See if it's going to be a game that's won in 90 minutes, 120 minutes, or even on penalties. Who knows? If you have enjoyed this show, please don't forget to smash that like. It does help the channel up the search. So please do give it a like. That means new viewers find it easily. Also, if you are brand new to this channel and it's all black and white TV, don't forget to subscribe on the way towards 1200. Also hit that bell notification to keep you up to date with future shows as well. And also remember, you can donate at any time as you want. Clicking the dollar sign and all money reinvested and 99p a month if you want to become a member. John, give your channel a shout out, please, if you would like to, and what you got coming up.
Yeah, sure. Thank you so much for having us on, Tony. I really appreciate that again. I mean, I wanted to jump on anyway. And I just left them the channel as well in the chat as well. So if you want to subscribe to my channel, it's John Sinclair TV. And I've got a show tonight, 6 o'clock. If you and Peter's coming on as well, I believe. And we're going to do the end of season review. So we're going to talk about the season review. And I'm sure it's going to be lively as well, by the way. So that's the channel there. And tomorrow night, it's been confirmed, I'm with Alice Abrams, a big United fan. We're going to talk about her team and Newcastle as well. We're going to talk about her team, Ten Hag. We're also going to talk about a bit of their season as well, and Newcastle season as well. She is one of the biggest YouTubers in the country as well. And please, please, please join us for that, guys. You do not want to miss it. It's not all about Man United. It's also Newcastle United as well. She is top. So please join us for that. I'm going to do the advert later on for that as well. And I've also got lead judges on Tuesday. Now, I don't think it's going to be a live. I think it'll be a recorded show. So I'll let you know on that one as well. And so join us for that. And I think I may have Soph on as well later in the week. That's Soph, the big Arsenal fan. So please, please, please join us for that as well. So if you haven't subscribed to my channel, then please do so. John Sinclair TV. And I love the guys in the chat as well. You are absolutely amazing. Each and every one of you. Tony, thank you so much, man.
No problem, John. No problem. Thank you. But also is what's happening all the talk of us getting Morgan Gibbs, or in being interested in Morgan Gibbs White. That seems to have all quietened down. I'm not sure what's going on with that one, to be honest with you. Alan says, great show, Tony and John, the likely lads. Cheers, Alan. Thank you very much.
Thank you very
love
much
Alice, but hate that club. What's that team we call United? Later, Andrew as well. I mean, yeah, so I'll have some shows coming up this week as well. Don't know what is coming up yet, but I'll tell you during the month of June when we have the Euros, I will be doing nightly shows at 10 o'clock or whatever, maybe 10:30. We'll have a roundup of the day's games in the Euros, especially the group games. So the first one will be Friday, June the 14th. That will be when Germany take on Scotland in the opening game. Let's hope that's just a board draw. And then obviously the big one will be Sunday when England play that first game of the tournament. So look, so there's plenty to look forward to in June. And at least having the Euros on, it just gives us some more football to watch. And it means the Premier League season comes around a lot quicker then as well. And don't forget, we will have the fixtures for you as well. So, we've got lots to look forward to. And of course, the big news coming in, we got the Adidas launch as well in June. So, look, lots to look forward to. We can't wait to see the end of Castor, and absolutely brilliant. Thank you. Karen says, great show. Thank you. No problem at all. Pete says, great show, guys. Cheers, Pete, as well. Thank you very much. Yeah, don't forget to hit that like and hit that subscribe if you are brand new to the channel as well. Look, we haven't got in Europe. It's a sad situation that we haven't made it to Europe this season. But come on, let's push on next season and make the difference next season. At least we'll only have to play one game a week as such. But remember, the future's bright. The future is definitely black and white. And until then, guys, take care. Enjoy the rest of your day. Go and enjoy the game as well at Wembley. And let's see who ends up in the Premier League by maybe 6 o'clock this evening. But until then, it's bye-bye from me.
Away the lads.